This is Dr. Eileen, and this is Medicine Walk. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, this is Healing House Radio. Now, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, my apologies for the lighting. I'm here at my home, and I'm still getting things set up. When everything's all set up and nice, I'll do a video showing it. But for now, I wanted to still do my episode. I wanted to still do the information, start off this month, because this is going to be a very, very important month, because we're going to be going back through everything we've talked about, giving little highlights on each one. And at the end of the month, I'll be making a very important announcement on the work that we're going to be doing next year and the stuff I'm going to be sharing next year. And I'm really excited about that. Also, I'll be doing my New Year's Eve broadcast live. So you guys can be able to be a part of that if you'd like, or you can watch it later on. For those of you who are on Blog Talk Radio, please feel free to comment and feel free to go to the link that's in the description so you can see the YouTube video. So let's get started. In January, we talked about clearing, and that is the most important subject, I think, or one of the most important subjects that we can cover, because it is it's the foundation. No matter what you're doing, no matter what type of work you're doing, no matter how you're, managing things, the ability to clear both yourself, your space, and sometimes other people is a profound tool to be able to master and be able to feel confident in. And it takes a little while to be able to get into the idea of what it is to be clear. So the first thing that we need to establish is, what is the difference? What does it feel like when you're cleared as opposed to when you're not? So when you consider what are the things that you feel physically, what are the things that you feel energetically, in some cases, some people feel as though, there's like a heaviness with them. Things just keep going wrong. You can't get yourself kind of in that good groove as you work or as you do other things. You may notice that you're more tired. You may notice that your eating habits are off. You may notice that you feel more temperamental, especially around certain people. So the idea that you have an ability to identify what is feeling out of balance and then restore it to balance. So we went over things like a clearing salt bath, which for those of you who remember, and as with all of the topics we're going to review, please go back and you can look at the full month's worth of information that we gave. But, this is going to be mainly just highlights. We're going to do 3 months at a time. So a clearing salt bath, which is 1 cup of Epsom salt, 1 cup of sea salt, and 1 cup or a half a cup of baking soda. You take that, put it into a tub. If you have sage, you can smudge your bathroom, and you can be able to just soak in that. Make it nice hot water. You don't need to turn into a lobster, but just make sure that it's a nice, really comfortably warm tub, and just soak in it. Soak. People ask, well, how long do you need to soak? Soak as long as you feel you need to. Then afterwards, now the best way to work with this is with a tub and shower setup, because after you finish soaking, let all the water drain out, then rinse yourself off completely. Now, can this be done in a shower? Yes, it can. Just get yourself a nice big bucket or a big pot, and as you're in the shower, don't turn the water on. Just pour this water over yourself. Pour it over. So you want a really, one of those really big pots, or you want several, kind of jugs or something like that. But you want to be able to just pour it completely over yourself. Then rinse off everything. And that rinsing off process is very important, because that takes all the residual stuff out. Now, this clearing is done right before bed. You don't want to go out. You don't want to, be interacting with people and their energies, because it clears energy, but it leaves you very open. So optimally, you do the clearing bath, you go to bed, and you will probably find you have very interesting dreams, dreams that bring in information, because once you clear the way, then a lot of intuition can come in. So what you want to do is you want to be able to just have yourself, or give yourself an opportunity to just relax, to be easy. Don't let those thoughts build up. And don't watch the scary movie, don't watch the news, maybe listen to some gentle music that relaxes you. Go straight to bed. That's one of the clearing practices that we talked about. And the idea of also going into places that you feel very comfortable, maybe sitting by the ocean, or maybe going up into the mountains and just sitting, or maybe going to the neighborhood park and playing on a swing and just swinging back and forth. Clearing, it's about removing energy, but it's also about opening up an opportunity for new energy to come in. It's sort of like you're clearing up congestion. And we also talked about the idea of clearing when somebody is projecting something at you, whether it's intentional and they actually have set an intention and done something to create negative energy projecting towards you, or it could just be that somebody's really irritated at you. And most people have a level of empathic ability. And what most people don't know about empathy, and you can go to our month when we talked about empathy, you can project. Empathy is feeling what somebody else feels as if it's your own feeling. Empathy is not just one way. Empathy can be can receive, it can scan, and it can project. So it may be somebody who knows how to project, and suddenly you feel like you're doubting yourself, or suddenly you're feeling like, beating yourself up or being angry at yourself. That could be someone who's empathic directing that energy at you. It could just be that you're in a work environment that it's very toxic or very upsetting to you. So the idea of establishing practices and doing things, utilizing things like smudge, white sage is excellent for clearing. You can use salt. You can just use, if you're in a situation, especially like at work, where you have your little cubicle and you can't use smudge, you can just take salt, go in and just sprinkle salt around the perimeter of it, like along the inside wall of it. And that is a protective and clearing thing. Being around flowers and plants can be very clearing. So if you need help with clearing, if you're having issues with that, then please feel free to contact me and I can give you more information on that. February's subject, the second subject that we talked about, was earth magic. And this is a especially important topic to me, because that's one of the main things I do, is interacting with earth energies, and creating that relationship and that agreement where you can feel, the trees, and you pick up those subtle vibrations and you can work with them. So earth magic is just that ability to connect. And some people can connect with all elements, and other people can connect with certain ones more than others. So if you have a certain element that you connect very strongly with, then start with that one. If you have a strong connection to stones, then sit down with stones, and stones are excellent. They're one of my favorite aspects of earth, because they are phenomenal teachers in the ability to control empathy and to manage empathy. So, again, go to the empathy discussion and we'll talk, it talks more about that, where you are able to find that stillness, to match that stillness, to become that aspect of quietness and especially river stones, because river stones allow everything just to flow past. Connecting with the natural world, connecting with animals, connecting with, um, just the totality of what this planet is. And the more you do it and the more connected you become, and that includes the stars, to being, and because some people connect very, very strongly to the stars, they're very affected by the movements of the stars. So we talked about that idea of how it is that you can be that much more connected, and that you can actually create an energetic flow between you and the other and elements of this world. So that was a really fun one. So I encourage you to go back and look at February. So March was an exploration of spirituality in magic. And spirituality in magic is, some people think that they're very separate, and others, they integrate them. My work is about the integration of my spirituality and my use of magic. So spirituality, first and foremost, can create accountability. And it doesn't matter what philosophy you carry, what philosophies, you go with, what your spiritual traditions are. The aspect of what you do and how it affects other people and what is the responsibility there. They do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you look at, the traditions of the pagans, first do no harm. And, if it is an issue of, maybe somebody is an atheist or an agnostic, or they have some sort of other belief system that carries them through, whatever carries you through, that is your spirituality. Whatever is your way of understanding the concept of right versus wrong in your mind. What is right behavior and what isn't? So the idea that you can be able to find that balance point and to find that deeper level of your work and why you do it in the way that you do. So whatever it is that you believe, embrace that and incorporate that into your work. Because the other aspect of spirituality in magic is that by tapping into those specific sources, you can intensify your connection and increase the effectiveness of the work that you do by calling in that help, by calling in that protection, in clearing, calling in, if you subscribe to angels and archangels, calling in the angels and the archangels to help you and to protect you. If you, whatever belief system you have, it could be, Odinists, who believe in the Norse mythology, you can call in, the deities and the predominant figures from that. Or, maybe it's just, the stars themselves or the elements of the earth. Whatever it is, that is your spirituality. And by bringing that in, by bringing that sense of however you conceive the universe, creator, God, however that works for you, um, incorporate that in, bring that in. Because what it does is it connects you to that being, that consciousness, and it allows you to tap into what would not normally be available. It takes you to a much deeper level when you incorporate the spiritual world, however you envision that. So make sure you bring that in, bring your prayers in whatever way they happen to for you, or you can call them good wishes, you can call them whatever you like, but make sure that you bring that in for protection, for your healing works, for your questions. If you're asking for something, if you're asking for, some sort of benefit, if you're, needing help solving a problem, incorporate that into your meditations and your magic, and you'll probably find that you get a lot better results when you feel that sense of being supported on a spiritual level. So, those were the 3 topics that we covered for the first 3 months. And I encourage you to go back and take a look at those videos if one of those topics was, really significant for you. And so next time we'll be covering our, the next 3 months worth of uh, episodes and the lessons, and they are also in the playlists. So you can go back to the playlists and you can pick out the topics that are the most significant for you, the most important for you. And I hope you really enjoy this review. I hope it, reminds you of a few things. Oh yeah, I remember, I forgot that. And it's just been so amazing to be able to share all of this. This is all basically what I would teach to an individual coming to me in the first year of their training. So this is my first year gift to you guys. And next year is going to be very exciting. So if you appreciated this video, if you liked it, then please, like the video. You can share the video. If you resonate with what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. I'm working on reaching my first 100 subscribers by the end of December. That's kind of a personal goal that I hope to achieve, because that way I can, at 100 subscribers, I can customize a URL, which I really think would be cool, and make it feel like the channel is more, more solid. And so, and it'll make it easier to find. So if you would like to support the channel on a bigger level, then please visit the Patreon link, and you can sponsor me for as little as $2 a month. And there are perks that come with being sponsors. And thank you so much for those of you who are sponsoring me. And, oh, hi, Luna. Yes, that's the other great thing about being at home. That means... Oh, you want to run off. That means that you'll probably be seeing more and more of my pets. So they get very curious whenever the camera comes out. So thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. And like I said, for those of you who are on Blog Talk Radio, please consider checking out the YouTube channel. And for those of you on YouTube, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me here. And I promise things will be a lot more set up and a bit more polished by the next video. So, thank you for joining me. And as always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you. And class dismissed.